and welcome back to the UTS Finance Society Podcast, Finance Unplugged. I'm your host, Isabella, and I'm here today with Alicia, and we're looking at what we would be when we grow up.
Yes, we are. So, without further ado, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're listening to this. We are the Finance Unplugged podcast, and we'll be giving you fun, bite-sized, informative bits of entertainment surrounding all aspects of finance. So, welcome back. Ready to start the day, actually the afternoon.
It's okay, you can listen to this at any time.
Yes, 100%. But without further ado, we are going to do some headlines on finance. This will be the last episode for this segment, but we've got something small and something fun hopefully coming to you in the next episode or so. Also, oh god, I can't speak today. This happens every time, but that's okay. So, our first headline in finance today is the economy and banking. Westpac CEO warns of increasing recession risk due to fuel prices and interest rates. The Bendigo Bank has announced job cuts following outsourcing deals. That's a bit scary.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Well, as long as we don't, end up in that recession, we should be fine, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. It's a far cry, but who knows? Listening onto the news has been crazy. I mean, I don't even bother to read the news. It's just on the radio nowadays. It's like, oh, September recession potential, and I'm just like, please don't say that. But moving on from that, we've got our fuel and energy crisis. It's been a constant thing we've had over the past few episodes, with the government scrambling to resource fuel supplies as trucking businesses face emergency orders. Oil prices are continuing to rise as investors have been monitoring the Middle East conflicts. I don't know if you saw lately, they were talking about the Strait of Hormuz potentially being opened and then it closed again.
Yeah.
So that's been a joy for all of us. Our next headline is property and markets. We've got the Australian property prices are experiencing a spike in price reductions. Meanwhile, a massive $60 million office sale is planned on St Kilda Road.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, that is crazy for an office.
Yeah, and also the fact that I think definitely after COVID, office spaces kind of died a little bit, and so many things have been starting to lease. To spend that much money, which we could be spending money elsewhere, exactly. I think is a little bit crazy. Indeed. We also have corporate and consumers. We've got over 1.6 million households facing mortgage stress, according to 9 News. Consumers are also bracing for higher prices, with shoppers starting to stockpile items. Are you a stockpile household, Isabella?
No.
No, I unfortunately am. We stockpile, my parents' favourite thing to stockpile is washing detergent.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Fluffy, or like, what's the other brand? Like the big washing liquid thing in the red, anyway. They love a good stockpile on that. Toilet paper and paper towels. I think I just for the big ones because they are so expensive. Do you actually, funnily enough, I'm house sitting. Did you realize it can cost you $45 to like buy up to 25 little like dishwasher balls?
No.
$45.
I did not know it was that much.
Yeah, in this economy. Like, why?
Okay. It's just crazy now.
It is.
I mean, I know the laundry like pouch thingies, like they cost up to like $30 for like, I think it was 20.
20?
Yeah. So like that to me doesn't seem like completely strange as a concept, but still like that is crazy.
Yeah, I'm very much a cheapo. You only ever buy things on sale when you can with that stuff, and you always buy in bulk. And finally, we've got some trade news. Australia has signed a free trade deal with the European Union, expected to provide a $10 billion a year boost. I'm not too sure what it's going to mean for us. Hopefully something good.
I hope so too, because I heard about the EU monitoring the whole like situation with the Iran-US conflict. So who knows what that really means in terms of like a year's time or even like a decade.
Yeah, true.
So that should be an interesting kind of thing to analyze in the future.
Indeed it will be.
So today Alicia and I are going to be looking at alternate pathways and our ideal futures, whether that is in finance or not. So we're going to look at our quote-unquote preferred job in the finance field, depending on if we know what we want to do for now, or if that will be subject to change in the future, and what we would have done maybe if circumstances had been different, or if we had found other interests along the way.
That is very true. I think this will be really interesting to see what we are looking at doing, because we both have very conflicting degrees in the sense of, I mean, I do science and business, you're doing masters of teaching with
economics,
and
languages, innovation, etc.
Yeah, it's
so we shall see.
Indeed, it will be. I would also like to make note of the fact of how tired we can be because we both have drinks with us today.
First time probably ever. That's crazy.
I know. So it just shows where we are in the semester. It's the desperate need for coffee now. Indeed. So our current pathway, as hopefully all of our listeners know, we both do very different degrees. I myself doing a Bachelor of Medical Science and Business, majoring in Finance, and yourself doing your Masters of Teaching with Economics, a Diploma in Creative Intelligence, and a Diploma in Spanish.
Yeah.
Because she's zesty that way. Yes, so those are definitely our degrees. But the biggest question is, what would we like to do, and like, what's our pathway? So we'll get things started. What do you feel like your path is going to be?
Well, considering I was actually never meant to be in a Bachelor of Economics, I feel like that's going to be an interesting kind of jump in conversation, because I did always plan on going into something maybe in finance.
Okay.
But I jumped around a lot. Like, when we get to the other possibilities, we can discuss this more.
Yes.
But
100%.
I was always in the mindset of it's something to do in business. I wasn't sure like which sector of business I was really interested in. And then I ended up in financial consulting. That was kind of fun for the time being. And to be fair, if I was to do a pathway, I still wish it was still analytics, but consulting related.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you've definitely got to have that creative mind and problem-solving mindset, which 100% you definitely do, to do that, because I feel like in my head, there's only so much advice I can give you until I get to a point of like, okay, like now you have to like go be free, fly like a bird, in that sense. No, but that's really cool. And like obviously with your Masters of Teaching, like,
I feel like that would be an interesting aspect, because like you can definitely look into it like from a psychological standpoint as well, which I feel like I don't know if this is true or not, but a traditional finance major doesn't provide that kind of related. But yeah, that's kind of another aspect, and obviously with languages you can cross-cultural kind of comparison and whatnot. But yeah, that's about it, I guess, really.
That is fair.
For you?
For me, with the path I've wanted to do, well, I feel like my origin story, I feel like a superhero. My origin story being in the sense of I love science. I've always kind of wanted to do it. Even when I was a kid, like, fell in love with the ocean, wanted to do... in year 3, I remember saying, I want to be a marine biologist.
Oh, cute.
It was kind of cute. But then obviously, like, ended up definitely in high school, my love for, like, chemistry and the med-sci side of things within the science world kind of really excited me. So definitely science was that big one. Business, unfortunately, was a bit of a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's funny enough, I've actually met a lot of people who do doubles with business, where it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of like this backup role just in case like everything kind of goes away and kind of burns in the world. Like business is kind of always there.
Yeah.
But then definitely my first year fell in love with it so much. Like fell in love with accounting. Didn't think that would happen to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I think as well it also helps when you have really good teachers. Shout out Amanda White, you were the best. Definitely gave me that love for accounting, so thank you very much. But it's definitely been a point of contact for me in the sense of what I want to do in the future, which is make sure that I have both aspects of science and business in my role. And a lot of the time that usually comes with like medical affairs or medical sales, or like the dream kind of role is a medical science liaison, where like I get to build relationships with like key leaders, and talk to healthcare providers and, you know, provide windows of insight into market competition and products. So, and like, I think for me, my biggest thing is being able to talk. I love to talk, hence why we do a podcast. And why I have always wanted to do a podcast is because I love to talk and I love to educate, which I think those roles definitely give you that platform to do. Indeed. But the plan to get there will be very interesting. I don't know what your plan is.
I feel like since I am already in a Bachelor of Economics, it's quite straightforward. Like you can literally just start internships and whatnot, and then you can end up in a graduate role in financial consulting or analytics, like depending on obviously your major.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a lot more straightforward in comparison to maybe yours.
Yeah, mine, I think with science, it's a lot different now. I think, yes, the business side of things and the finance major, it is internships and graduates, graduate programs and graduate roles. It is really interesting though, because I find a lot of the time I have gone to like an internship event at NAB, and it was just wildly insane to see how many people did very copycat degrees. Not to say that that's bad, but just like the kind of like finance bro stereotype is they kind of went to UC. They both do like they do a major in accounting and finance, sub majors. And I kind of met a lot of those character types. Not to say that I'm having a dig or a go at them. It's just it was very interesting to observe as one as a woman and one as someone who's doing a double degree with like not just business but also with the science aspect as well. So that was really interesting. But I'm getting ahead of myself and I'm side questing. But getting back onto the plan to get kind of the role that I want to do, in my sense, particularly if you guys don't know this, I know this is a finance podcast, but just broaden your view in other degrees. A lot of our science degrees, your bachelor's, when you go into industry, there is this expectation to do an honours, which is usually about 8 to 10 months of research on a project. You'll do a thesis, bunch of presentations, if you do really well, you get first class honours, yada, yada, yada. It's a whole shebang, and you get to talk to a bunch of people. So that's definitely industry standard nowadays, doing the honours. And then building on from that, a lot of senior roles, a lot of the time people have this expectation that you have to have done a PhD or you are doing a master's doctorate, like to be a doctor kind of thing. Which I get, it's smart and it's fair because it's the theory side of things, but I feel like just as much, and I think even more so this growing trend of experience and having a breadth of skills and experience is becoming a bigger thing. And I would hope that it would become a bigger thing for recruiters.
Definitely.
Because, you can get the same cookie-cutter person who's, just done the bachelor, the honours, the master's, the PhD. Or you can get someone who's done the bachelor's, done a random combo, kind of went and did a project, did some work here, did some work there, and now they've come into this role with this even more opportunity and knowledge and experience. So I think, it'd be interesting to see. And I hope that's kind of what happens for me.
Yeah, definitely. I remember... Actually, before we started filming, I was in a class where they were talking to me about the specific role, which we will talk about in the other possibilities segments soon. But they were in traditional economic jobs, you need an honours, and then in some cases you go and get a master's or a PhD, and I'm just I kind of know this, but also I have not ever spoken to one person so far in my economics degree where they want to go and do an honours. So I'm really questioning the trend right now because technically to get into certain roles, for example the RBA, you do need an honours to even be accepted for an internship.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So I'm thinking in my head what's going to actually happen to all these economic graduates if we are all basically choosing not to pursue an honours? What's going to truly become the economics degree? Yeah,
and the conditions of entry will change. I think it definitely will tie into this, and we might talk about this later on. The work criteria of an entry-level role has really changed, which is somewhat frustrating for me because you see these things on LinkedIn in the sense of, it's an entry-level role, yet they expect us to have done X amount of experience, achieved a certain award or a grade, which I get, it's great, and if you've got a high GPA and it shows you're really, really smart, but I feel just as much you don't always have to be the smartest person in the room to always do the job. And that doesn't mean to say that smart people and people have really high GPAs, whether it's a WAM of 85 to 95, great, well done.
Yep.
Got on the Dean's List Award and getting this stuff. Good on for you. And you're putting in the hours. But just as much someone who can do a 74 to 75 WAM can probably do the same work. And yes, they might need a little bit more help, but that doesn't mean that we're not lesser than you in that sense. And even might equally have more experience in the real world with things,
That's a good point too.
Alright, so our next segment we have, in regards to talking about our degrees and our pathways and what we think about the world and the working world, I think. What are the potential possibilities that could have been there for future Isabella and Alicia?
That's a good question. I feel there's multiple pathways and this is really a what-if scenario. So there is always a million options that we could have entered.
Oh no, 100%. And I feel there's definitely people in the world that are sharpshooters in the sense of what they know and pathway-wise. I don't know if I definitely speak for me, but I don't know about you, but I definitely speak in the perspective of I want to try everything.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I don't want to just be one thing for the rest of my life. I would like to kind of branch and try a bunch of different things. Get a bit creative, get a bit zesty in life and in work. Because what's life worth living if you're not having fun?
Exactly, and at the end of the day, we're just living for the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great motto. So without further ado, the other possibilities. If you could go back in time and have a time travel machine, what would be a different degree or different degrees you would have wanted to do and jobs you might have wanted to get into?
That's actually so funny because technically I think I graduated high school after you, so like
Yeah.
it was not that long ago, like I had to make this decision. So I feel like I've gone back in time. I'm in year 12 again, and literally like just before year 12 was about to end, I was like, I want to drop out. So I took a turn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's just say I might not have actually entered uni.
Really?
Long story short, yeah.
Wow.
Which is kind of funny considering my background, right?
It is actually, yes.
Yeah. So that was great.
Wow. Oh, I definitely knew I always wanted to do uni.
Mm-hmm.
I was never going to do trade.
Okay.
I like, to everyone who knows me, I cannot work with my hands like physically at all. The most I can do is like organize an IKEA flat pack.
Okay.
Like, which is kind of
That's
like
still,
the...
like, not too bad.
Yeah, but like I don't have the imagination to like build like a chair from like scratch,
Okay.
from like a trunk. Or even like some of my partner's mates who are like electricians and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like the concept of having to do that, it boggles my mind. I'm just like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I can design it, but I can't build it. So I always get someone else to do it for me.
Yeah, I'm like, not even the design bit, I'm just like, no. Like my thing is I'll have the vision and then I have to just like delegate. Like, can't do all of that at once, unfortunately. So trade was never my thing. I definitely knew I wasn't going to drop out. Not to say that that's bad. Not to say that that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely did think about having a gap, not a gap year, but a gap few months.
Like a semester kind of
Yeah.
experience?
I kind of wanted to do that, but then I feel like, not to diss our parents and to just wogs and everything like that, maybe I shouldn't say that, but like, yeah, ethnic parents, it's always you must go to school and must go to uni straight after high school, get it out of the way. I don't know. Which is fair to say. Maybe in the long run it will benefit me because I've been very lucky to go and travel still throughout my degree. So, but different degree wise, I think science was always on the table, and then this is really left field music.
Honestly, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I know so many people who enter like a double degree with music and then like some other specialization.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but they all dropped the music. Like, what was wrong with the degree to the point that they couldn't continue it?
I don't know. I find that interesting as well because music, it's an arts and like, oh my god, music. It is really tough because that's definitely a field that you have to be really confident to put yourself out there. And I think some people don't really expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Others do, and also just the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, for me, in my sense, it would have equally probably been a bit harder because the music degree I would have wanted to do was like classical based.
Okay.
So I really wanted to go to the con and play the cello. Love the cello. Cello was life in high school. And, like, music was life. So, like, training like that and sort of the theory behind it does get really, like, intense. So I think that would have been interesting to see how that played out. But I think equally as well, do you know what kind of messed everything up? A little bit COVID.
Oh.
The pandemic.
That's a fair point, actually.
The pandemic showed a lot of true colours of, like, the system and, like, our education system and, like, the job market as well. And, like, how kind of people coped in the reaction, which kind of, like, turned me down with the whole music thing. And it was kind of just like, maybe this should just be a hobby thing.
Okay.
For me.
You know what? I don't blame you for saying that because, like, probably better to keep it a hobby than maybe a job sometimes.
Yeah, honestly. And another thing that definitely showed me was U12 music. The reason why I loved playing and doing music was, you know, the thrill of it all and being able to play and, like, be in a community like that. Doing that as a job and, like, the way I had to, like, practice and be so clinical about it to, like, get a mark just killed the passion for me. So, yeah, kind of glad I didn't go down that path. But that was a potential for me anyway. I don't know about you with your publishing and your author.
I did actually get accepted for a writing and publishing degree.
Really?
Yeah, and I saw it and immediately I was like, this is not happening. I always knew I wanted to do a business degree. I was like, if I do a Bachelor of Arts or major in English or anything along those lines, it would just be a complete backup and more just for fun.
Yeah.
My friends definitely went into like uni with the idea of like, we all chose double degrees, but it was always like one degree is specifically, this is the job that we're going to enter. One is just purely for fun.
Wow.
So they will get to keep that. But mine is like, I don't know, know, I feel like with my specific degree, it can both be like considered completely work and a completely fun, depending on how you like want to put into perspective.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, I never was interested in doing that kind of like one is fun, one is work kind of route. I feel like that just defeats the point of doing a degree sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. I think as well, like, you have to have some fun in the degree you do already. Like, because then, no offense, you're kind of just wasting your money and, like, racking up a hex debt. Speaking of which, not to be weird, but did you get your email about the amount your subjects will be? I got the email of how...
I didn't get that.
Oh, maybe check your student admin.
Okay.
But, like,
great.
I looked at it today and I saw the prices and I was like, oh my god, this is why I'm doing this degree. I had to mentally say to myself, you're doing this for the future, you're doing this for the future. You will pay the debt later, but you're doing this for the future.
Yeah. You're halfway to get there right now.
Yes. I'm not ready to spend more money, but it's okay. It becomes a debt and we'll get there in the end. Now, if we didn't want to do the jobs we have said, what do you think are the jobs you might have done? Particularly more so in like the finance kind of business side of things. Like, what would be your ideal kind of finance job, if you could?
Well, apart from the fact that I wanted to go into financial consulting and analytics, if I couldn't hypothetically get into one of those kind of roles, my next kind of job would be like a statistician of some kind, and like I would probably just do it in any field, like that could be financially related or not. I was actually told by my year 12 mathematics teacher to do accounting.
Really?
That was fun, and I was like, when in the world did this conversation happen? Like, I'm the only girl right now sitting in a Math Extension 1 class, and you're talking to me about accounting when we're talking about engineering because all the guys want to do that. And I'm just so, like, mentally not sure what's happening. And mind you, it's like a Friday, it's the last period as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did this conversation start from? So that was great fun. But he was telling me how I should do accounting. And whether that was like a Bachelor of Commerce and a major in accounting, or, you know, go straight into a finance degree and then somehow do a, I don't even know what the thing is called, like CFA.
Oh, yes, the CFA, the Charters, the Charters Financial Administration, the licensing to get when you become an official accountant.
I just remember hearing that and I was like, so you lost me at that, and I don't know what else you said afterwards, but yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh wow, that's so interesting. I never had a teacher say that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, no teacher ever really said that to me. Oh, I did get like one thing in like year 10 when we were like choosing our year 11 and year 12 subjects in the sense of like, oh, you could do English Advanced or English Extension 1. And I kind of saw the English Extension 1 and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And then I thought about it and like think of all the other stuff I had to do. I was like, but then maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll stick with English Advanced and I'll like just try and do better in that. Which thank God I did. But accounting, accounting seems so boring. Like, it's cool. It's really cool. And the basics are so interesting and the fundamentals, like assets, like equals equities plus liabilities. Like, so cool. And like learning that was like, oh my God, what? My brain literally did explode when I learned about that. To me, at least. Because like I never kind of been exposed to anything like that. But yeah, accounting, in the end, I'm just like, you know.
Not for you?
No, definitely not accounting. Which I feel like finances is kind of like funny, happy medium because it's like a lot, it is theory. But the handy thing is the theory is that you can all just do it in like Excel and programs will just do it for you. I'm a little bit lazy like that with math formulas, but also the finance as well of, it's not as extreme as economics, a sense of like the mathematics behind economics literally scares me. The amount, I have so many friends who do bachelors of economics at UTS and like with advanced studies, and when my best friend was talking to me about econometrics, my jaw was on the floor of like sheer fear. I'm like, why are they putting you through this physical torture? Like, no. You find this fun? No. Yeah, I just, my hat's off to people who do bachelors of economics. The maths you guys do.
The thing when you said about like the econometrics, I actually applied to UTS originally before I realised I didn't want to go there. And I applied for a Bachelor of Economics with a major in Financial Economics and Econometrics. So the fact you said that is actually kind of like...
You would have probably known a lot of the people I know now if you had gone there.
Maybe, actually.
You honestly,
I prefer the degree I have here.
Yeah.
By way. A million miles.
Per way more. No, totally fair. But I think for me, in the sense with the financial, I would be more interested in the sense of like risk management and like compliance.
Cool. Okay.
When I went to the NAB event and there were a bunch of like people from the NAB stuff, the kind of like either risk management and compliance, or I'm really, really big into like market research.
Okay.
Like analyzing stocks and sort of the movement of the market. And like equity research, I find that so interesting, and just like more so being the person behind the scenes who like gives the advice, I think is such a cool way. And again, I think in that way it comes back to my core of I love talking, I love educating people on aspects that might be really difficult or things that need to be analysed. Not so much maybe mathematically, but combining in the sense of like societal, economic, like financial aspects of everything, and within like how company stocks kind of move. That really inspires me.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yes, we move on from this to what we would have studied, gone to TAFE, or just started working. If I didn't have my uni degree, I feel like I would have ended up doing a Bachelor of Science.
Okay.
In the end. Or like, I don't know. Yeah, kind of music went down the drain after COVID and everything. Science was probably going to be the big one. Do you know what, funnily enough, I was thinking of going into the army for science.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like being
what kind of brought that upon?
I was really worried about my ATAR, and like if it wasn't going to go well. And it was just a bit like, maybe it'd be kind of cool to like just get like other experience in life as well. And like my brain was like, the army. So I looked and went to this like seminar thing. It was really cool. They did it on Zoom and online. Met this like people who were like pharmacists, medicine, like doctor people, researchers who were like on bases and everything. So I thought it was really interesting. And then I got to the physical aspect of like the Navy and the Air Force and all that, and I saw like the beep test and like burpees, and I'm like, and no. I like my career in the army finished.
Fair enough.
I'm not a particularly athletic, like I'm an athletic human, but not that athletic to the point of I would force myself to do that. So I was like, yeah, I'm sweet.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah. How about yourself?
Well, we already obviously heard that I almost dropped out. So
yeah,
that was an experience. Yeah, I didn't end up dropping out obviously in the end.
Yeah, but kind of like what brought on that? Was the dropping out kind of like you were just like I'm off uni, or just like you want to go do your own thing?
It was more like I was overwhelmed, okay? I was like doing 13 units and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like when I applied for early entry, I got accepted into basically everything.
Yeah.
And you know how most people like to stay on one path and apply for similar degrees across the board?
Yeah.
No, I did not do that, okay? So let's just say I got too many options and I didn't know what option I wanted.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I never applied for the UTS early entry program for like my current degree. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I ended up using my ATAR anyway to get into the program. So, you know what? It worked out in the end. But, yeah, I definitely would have probably... Who knows? I might have done a science degree. I actually accepted into a couple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like... It was so funny, you know? You really think I have the ability to do a 4-year science degree. Yeah, no, not happening.
No.
And then I remember I got accepted for like an art degree or something. I was like... Let's just go back to the fact that in year 10, I gave up on my practical component for the art activity. And I ended up doing something else that was like not at all related, but they still marked it. And you know, just because someone can get like basically 100% for doing something like that, doesn't mean they should be doing a degree like that. So, not for me, let's just say. But definitely could have ended up in any different pathway at uni.
Yeah.
Would I have gone to TAFE is a different question, because when we had like, I don't know if you had these like career classes at your high school?
Yeah, potentially, yes.
Okay. Basically, all we did was like personality tests, and yeah, I got the most weirdest assortment of possible jobs in the world. Everyone else was like, they're so, you know, centered in one specific thing or field, and I'm just like, so I could be a financial analyst, or I could be a fashion designer, and you know, it just doesn't help. Okay, I don't know if that class was designed to basically overwhelm me, or if that class was actually going to help me at that point. So, you know, anything could have happened.
That is very true.
How about for you?
TAFE definitely was like not a thing for me. I didn't really see much. I don't know if I could have just started working. I definitely needed that structure of high school. And I think personally for me, I always loved learning and knowledge. I don't know, I was a weird kid. I watched Nat Geo and Discovery Channel growing up. My favourite TV show was The Mythbusters. Thanks Mum and Dad. So like that was a lot of my childhood. So I was always, I feel like, a very inquisitive kid. So not going into something where like an institution that kind of fostered that was like definitely going to be like odd for me. So I think in the end I always would have like ended up at uni in some shape or form, I think, in general. But to finish this off, do we envision a different career, or are we on the, or another way to get there? I feel like I'm taking it day by day at this point.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, I probably am taking it day by day as well. Like, we're basically at the point in that semester, period where it's just like, well, we'll just be over, but we're so close. We're almost there. Right?
Yeah, I definitely got final year syndrome. I'm actually coining this final year syndrome in like you're overwhelmed to the point of, do I even know what I'm doing? But also equally underwhelmed and frustrated at the point of, I have one more year of this. Like, I just want this to be over. Oh yeah, I have final year syndrome. I definitely had it for a few weeks of like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? But then equally also like, I'm so over this. Like, get me out of here.
Okay, that's cool, because I obviously my degree, like each of them finish at different times. So I already graduated from my diploma in innovation.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like any sense of like, yay, it's over, let's celebrate.
Yeah.
Basically. But now that I'm like, this is my last semester of economics, I'm kind of sad, but also not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I've got a year left in education, and then I've got 2 years left, I think, in Spanish.
Yeah.
So who knows, maybe it'll actually hit me when I finish properly.
Yes, it might hit you when you finish properly. I think, because the thing for me is obviously being a double, like, I technically will finish my entire business degree at the end of this semester. Yay me! Yay. And then science will be the end of the next semester. So it's definitely hitting me hard. It probably will hit me hard when this semester ends, being like, oh, like, this is definitely, like, the final countdown moment to, like, the end of my bachelor's degree. Which will be a bit sad, but also kind of like, it'll be very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not melancholy. Like, a chapter closing in my life. It'll be very holistically finishing, which is nice.
Yay!
But, we'll just see what happens, I think. Alright. Well, I think that's it for the rest of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you
today.
Indeed. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you come back and listen to another episode of the Finance Unplugged, and we'll see you sometime soon.
Yeah.